Like I said, since that training camp, I didn't stop. I just continued with training after the fight because I should fight early this year, maybe February or March, and then I should fight actually with Martin Bacola at that time, and then we get call from IBF to fight for mandatory challenger. So we start negotiate with this guy Michael Hunter, and that should be the fight for the IBF mandatory challenger with Michael Hunter. But that motherfucker took us 3 months of negotiating with us, and then when we finally need to sign the contract, he just stopped answering, and he didn't want that fight. He just took from us few months of negotiations, and he was telling in the media that he will knock me out, that I don't have good jab, that I'm not good. Then, when he should sign the contract, he just ran away. That he's a coward and he's a betrayer, So the most of time he took from us this year. But again, I know I was not happy because of that, and I was looking forward to that fight, but it is what it is,
Those are the words of Filip Hrgovic as he goes in on Michael Hunter, calls him a coward, an MFer, as you guys heard. He said he was a time stealer, an habitual line stepper, and a liar. Wow. Let me counterpunch. Filip Hrgovic is the guy that if you ask or you say Michael Hunter, this is what he will respond with. And the accusations are out there, because a lot of people, including myself, when I did interview Michael Hunter, even though the signal was trash, so the interview didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, and I haven't been able to get in contact with Michael Hunter since. But the number one question was, why did he walk out on a purse bid? Because remember, the negotiations were supposed to be, and like he told us, he said that the negotiations were supposed to be conducted in good faith first before the purse bid. And according to Michael Hunter, he said that was actually what Michael Hunter was talking about was actually the step before that. In good faith, the original negotiations between the two parties were supposed to be conducted first, and that step was just really stepped over. But Michael Hunter ended up getting the lion's share of the money anyway. Okay, and it's always two sides of the story, and I think based on how Filip Hrgovic responded by saying these derogatory things towards Michael Hunter, I don't think he liked the way it ended, like as far as communication. Okay. Now, in that interview, I did understand Michael Hunter didn't want to fight overseas, and he was talking about and discussing the politics of fighting overseas. Okay. And I don't know about the money he made fighting Mike Wilson versus fighting Filip Hrgovic. I just know how much the purse split was, and he had won, but he had won both times. So in Michael Hunter's mind, hey, how about I fight in the States, still get the lion's share of the money over my opponent, and let bygones be bygones? What Filip is saying is they didn't even contact, they lost all communication with us, or they refused to contact us. Now that's what I want to counterpunch. See, if what Filip Hrgovic is saying is right, that was wrong on the behalf of Michael Hunter or Team Hunter, because they could have at least reached out and said, hey, this is a no-go. Now, I don't know if that was true, but based on this interview, he said that Michael Hunter and his team wasted months, then decided to walk off, which if outsiders looking in, that looks bad, okay? That's some Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua type shit, right? Everybody thought that this fight was going to go, and then all of a sudden the fight wasn't. Then it was Wilder. Now it's been Wilder ever since, and now he's fighting Wilder in October, October, right? So, you know, a lot of time has been wasted, and I can understand when you're dealing with negotiations and you think you're going to get this type of fight, which Filip Hrgovic needed. Filip Hrgovic needed a fight like Michael Hunter. That was his pinnacle fight, because he's only like 12-0 with 12 fights. I think he has 10 knockouts, but 12 fights. Okay, that's right under that Daniel Dubois level, right? Before stepping in there with Joe Joyce. Okay, this is his Joe Joyce, Michael Hunter, right? Give or take if he won or not. But at the end of the day, there's animosity, and it looks bad because once you break communication with a guy or a team that you intend on fighting, the chances are reuniting for negotiations are very slim, okay? Because then it gets personal, just like Joshua or Team Wilder and Shelley Finkel and Hearn. Those guys, it's harder to get those guys in negotiations based off the history that they already went into. See, when things get personal and people, get offended, these type of things are hardly easy, okay? Take a look at what Filip Hrgovic said. This MFer, right? Wasted our time. He's a coward, those type of things. What did Wilder say about Team Joshua? Same kind of stuff. He's a coward, scared, or whatever. So those words, though, are words of emotion, okay? Of someone offending you. So that's what happened with Team Hrgovic. Now, it's imperative now that I do talk to Michael Hunter so Michael Hunter can clear up this side with the negotiations. See, there's one thing to deny a fight, like, look, we're not fighting you. But it's another thing to waste 3 months of some other side knowing that you didn't want to fight in the first place. Again, we heard about the purse bid, but ultimately the purse bid is the final step of getting a fight done. Okay, so at the end of the day, you can say, well, hey, we didn't even get to negotiate in good faith first with this team, and it was just pushed to purse bid based on a higher promoter like Eddie Hearn, said by Michael Hunter. That's one thing. But at the end of the day, that fight was in his corner. He would have gotten more exposure. He would have been looked at a lot different if he would have beat an undefeated fighter like Filip Hrgovic, the same Filip Hrgovic that was known and went viral for fighting, or sparring rather, like former champions like Deontay Wilder. Okay, so he was fighting championship pedigree, at a young age at 19, while Deontay Wilder was 26 years of age and was holding his own. So he was a prospect. So if Hunter would have beat that prospect, it would have looked better for him all the way through, on top of what he did prior on having a draw with Alexander Povetkin, the same guy that knocked out Dillian White cold. Do you see the connection here? So at the end of the day, I feel that Filip Hrgovic is pissed, okay? And according to what he is explaining, he should be. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Filip Hrgovic going hard on Michael Hunter. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.